giant prints. Will it DTF? Let's find out. Hey guys, I'm Jenny here with DTF Superstore, and today we're gonna be tackling large prints on large pieces of fabric and how to press it. And we're gonna use 3 different methods in order to press onto the fabric. So my first method, I'm just gonna use the Cricut heat press and do it all by hand. And then my second method is gonna be using this guy right here, and we're just gonna be piecing together again the different pieces of this pattern, trying to fit them together, and covering my entire 2 yards with that. And then finally, the one I am most excited for is the industrial size giant heat press. And I should be able to do 2 yards of a press at one time. So without further ado, let's get into it. But yeah, I'm not applying a lot of pressure right now. I'm really just kind of leaning over more than anything. I pressed a hair. There's a long red hair underneath this film right now. You can see right there. So wear a net when you do this. Okay, yeah, more pressure is the way to go for sure. Tested it out and the little tip right there came off. So again, I'm not really like physically pushing down. I'm just using more of my body weight. I'm just like, I leaned over a little more and added a little more weight, and that was enough to get part of like the little part I just tested, it stuck. So pressure is definitely the way to go. Okay, so I've tested some of the corners that I did first that have cooled off, and they are peeling pretty normal. Like, I definitely do want to give this a second pass now that I've done the first one, just for that additional heat and for that additional pressure as well. So we're gonna do really quick, nothing too crazy. That looks so fun. Actually really, really, really good. I'm a huge fan. So what we ended up having to do, there was something with the way the pattern ended, that the ends where the shoes are like cut off are not actually lining up with the end of this print. And so for some reason, shifting it down did make the shoes all line up completely. And so I just had to mark a line where there's like half a shoe at the end of this print versus where a whole shoe is here. And so we're gonna have like 3 or 4 rows right here that I'm not actually gonna press because they're already pressed into this fabric. yeah. Alrighty guys, so now we are at the part where we're doing our large prints using just the heat platen. So it's gonna be a lot larger area than the Cricut we just used, and it's not gonna be quite as big as the giant heat press that I'll get to use in the future. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started on this. Oh, and one note, super quick, is the two large patterns or prints I'm using right now are 30 by 40 inches. And this is a 2-yard piece of fabric, and it's approximately 44 inches wide. So my print is a little bit smaller than the fabric itself, but that is taking into account how the hems aren't completely perfect. So it's not something I would use anyways when I was, if I was sewing this fabric. So I'm not gonna worry about actually getting that pressed perfectly to it. So yeah, these are two 30 by 40 inch prints. All right. I'm gonna try something that I didn't initially plan on doing. Again, I'm very okay with there being overlapping on the pressing because they can't really harm the press, and I would rather overlap than accidentally skip a spot and totally ruin the overall look, I noticed I did change how I had my fabric. Originally I was gonna pull it through this way, but I kind of have a wall in my way, so it's a lot harder for me to feed it through this way. So I'm gonna be able to just kind of feed it more towards me and a lot easier. So I did exactly what I didn't want to do, and it was completely flip my fabric over after doing the first print. I don't plan on doing this for the rest. I think I'm gonna keep it where I'm constantly feeding through. At least that's the intention. I can already see in some places that the fabric or the print is lifting, so that's good. It's sticking. It's either gonna be the fun part or the hard part. Okay, it became unfun really fast. So this is, it looks like it's sticking. It's not sticking. Everything's fine, I promise. So this looks great. I'm excited. This is turning out wonderful, as always. DTF never fails. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this, and then I will do the parchment paper later. almost done. That's everything printed and pressed. It sounds like it's sticking. It's not sticking. It's just, it's so big, the folds of the fabric feel stuck. They're not stuck, I promise. All right. Quickly parchment paper this, and then I'm gonna do a little wrap up on my thoughts. So something I'm immediately seeing with the parchment paper right now is there is a significant, I wouldn't say color difference, but a level of reflectiveness. So the parts that I haven't pressed yet are very, very shiny. And then the parts, or have been pressed by the parchment paper, are much less shiny. I wouldn't say they're matte, but they're definitely one with the fabric. So always make sure you use your parchment paper for that second or final press. Alrighty guys, so now that that's done, I am ecstatic with the results. I think this turned out so good, and I think it looks just like a normal fabric or like a normal printed pattern, honestly. The feel is so smooth, like you can hardly feel the design. I would say this is a very efficient way and a very quick way to actually press a large print. Something I love about using this larger heat press right here is the fact that it's such a controlled and consistent amount of pressure, and that's something I just couldn't provide with the Cricut. Hey guys, so now we're here and we have a giant heat press to use, and I'm really, really excited to use it for the 72-inch fabric, and then also for another smaller piece of fabric that's about 30 by 40 inches. And I'm really excited to use this and just do a large print and a large fabric all at one time. So let's get to it. No, but this looks really, really good. I'm really excited with the results and how quick and easy this was to use. I'm really excited to have like a fabric that's this scale, being able to press it all at one time is really exciting, and a new and exciting way to use DTF also. I'm gonna go ahead and do another piece of fabric, and this is part of our hand feel test that we're gonna be doing later into this series. So this is quite literally the exact same print from an already printed fabric that is like the normal version of printed fabric, and we're gonna do a hand feel test later, but right now we're just gonna press this. Let me get this fabric fully even, and then from there we're just gonna get a good hand feel, which I am excited about. Ta-da! I don't know if you guys can hear me over the air compression, but this looks really, really good. I'm really, really excited with the turnout on this. I can't wait to compare this for the hand fill video, but yeah, this is using the giant heat press to create pattern fabrics and using large prints on large garments to help create more DTF, adventures. It's exciting. Alrighty guys, so this is the end of the video. We have accomplished pressing really large prints onto 3 separate types of large fabric. I've loved the results on all of them. I think they're so fun. I think the blue or the yellow are my favorite colors though. If I was gonna do it again, I'm not sure if this lilac would have made the cut, but I'm really excited about this video. I'm really excited with the results on all of them and the fact that the same results have been accomplished with all 3 forms of pressing. The only difference would be convenience in time and accessibility. So obviously Cricut's the most accessible. Definitely took more time. I did like how specific I could get in some troubled areas because I had everything laid out and I was doing it all by hand. So I think that is a huge pro coming from the Cricut, like the hand press. The heat press itself, I love the consistent amount of pressure. If this is something that I think a lot of DTFers do have, this is an extremely easy way to do it. Definitely go in with a plan on the order that you're gonna press, where your prints are going to go so you don't make the mistake I did and have to print more. I did love using this option. I think this might be my favorite option just because not everybody has access to a giant heat press, but the fact that using something as big as an industrial size heat press, I still get the same results I did on the hand press itself. I've had a blast making this video and I've absolutely loved working on this series, and I'm really glad pattern fabrics and large prints is just another thing that we can do here in the DTF world. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe, and until then, I'll see y'all next time. Bye!